Hello, I hope everybody's doing all right today. I thought I would come live while I dug this Chloe Darnel case. You can see her up there on screen to your right. And the lady with her there is her guardian, Brittany Slaughter. Turns out that Brittany is her aunt. So let's start here. This is the beginning. And this article was put out by the Lexington Herald-Leader. And it says that 4-year-old girl and guardian have been missing since September, and officials are asking for help. And this was in the beginning, guys. So this is when we very first heard about Chloe. It says authorities in Whitley County are asking for the public's help in finding the missing woman and 4-year-old girl. Brittany Slaughter and Chloe Darnel, 4, were reported missing from the Ova Lane, Canada Town community of Whitley County, Kentucky. The Whitley County Sheriff's Department said Darnell was last seen in late September. Slaughter has custody of Darnell, and according to the Sheriff's Department, she has family connections in Ohio. The Sheriff's Department said deputies are investigating leads that are asking for the public's help in locating Slaughter and Darnell. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact Whitley County Dispatch, and then it goes on to give their contact information. So that was initially, they were looking for both the guardian and Chloe. Hi, Days. How are you? So good to see you. I'm doing well. Had to pull my butt on here and make myself go live. I've been putting it off for a little bit. I don't know why. Thought I would talk about little Miss Chloe here. This is pretty close to home for me. So, actually, Miss Slaughter looks like a lady that I used to work with at a place called Blackboard. So I'm thinking that I actually used to work with this girl. Hey, Loves the Lurk. How are you? Awesome. Yeah, I've been having a lot of issues with my sound. You know me, but here I am. You can hear me and all. Let's hope it continues. Okay, so that was the initial reports. Now let's go to, I think, a video I have pulled up here with Shay McAllister. And it's the more update, because unfortunately Chloe was missing, but we no longer believe she is. Yeah, here. Give it just a minute here and it should pop up. There. Oh. It should load here in a second.
Searching led to a grim discovery in a small Kentucky town. The Whitley County Sheriff in Kentucky says that the body of a 4-year-old was recovered last night. 4-year-old Chloe Darnel was reported missing to the Whitley County Sheriff's Office earlier this week. Her family said they hadn't seen her since September. Investigators say 24-year-old Brittany Slaughter had custody of the little girl. Well, after they started searching, deputies found her car, but not Slaughter or the little girl. And then, late on Thursday, deputies did find Slaughter, and hours later, little Chloe's body. Slaughter and 34-year-old Adam Hayes were arrested and charged with her murder. The 4-year-old's body was sent to the state medical examiner's office for an autopsy. The sheriff's office says more charges could be coming.
Wow. That's so crazy. Yeah, so I guess once ever they caught up to Brittany Slaughter, which is Chloe's aunt, then they ended up finding her. So I would think she probably told them. That hasn't came out in anything yet. Of course, I haven't even seen a document yet, but she was so adorable. Loves the Lark, so adorable. Just 4 years old. She was a baby. She was beautiful. So like I said, I just came live because I haven't really dug this one, and I was going to just come live and dig it and share the screens as I do it. So I'm going to pull up, and this is probably repeat of information, but, I'm still, is anybody really clear on, I know that in the beginning, Brittany and Chloe was missing, and then they found Brittany's car. But then it seems like I remembered hearing something about the car not being registered to her. And then how does this Hayes man play in, you know? It's got me asking a lot more questions. Let's see. Yeah, that screen's sharing. So this is another Kentucky news station, WX18, that I feel has usually very legitimate information. So it's just talking about the two people that have been arrested, which we now know is her aunt and her aunt's boyfriend. And last I heard, they had sent the body to the medical examiner's office, so it wasn't confirmed, but it seems like they pretty well know, because it's saying that they'd been arrested and charged with murder after the missing 4-year-old was found dead in Whitley County. According to Whitley County Sheriff's Department, 24-year-old Brittany Slaughter and 34-year-old Adam Hayes were taken into custody after a body believed to be 4-year-old Chloe Darnel was recovered. Slaughter and Hayes both are charged with murder, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with physical evidence. The body has been sent to the state medical examiner's office in Frankfort for an autopsy. Police say this is an ongoing investigation and further charges are possible. Oh, so they are for sure it's Chloe. Wow. Let's see what Fox is having to say. If you all want me to look anywhere else, I can do that as well. You just gotta let me know. But usually when I'm digging something, I just start scanning all the major news, and then I'll start digging the people. Okay, and like I said, this is Fox. Brittany Slaughter and boyfriend Adam Hayes were charged with murder. That's the same thing. I do not know why that's not. Oh, so now on this one it says that Kentucky State Police announced Friday that they have arrested the cousin of a missing 4-year-old girl and her boyfriend after what they believe to be the child's body. So this one's saying that Brittany's the cousin. So we pretty much know she's not biological mother, but still not sure how she's related, because I've seen several reports say she's the aunt, so I'm pretty confident in that though. Hey Allie, how are you? It's good to see you. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to search his name and see what kind of stuff comes back on him. Because I'm wondering how he plays into this. If she's family, that's why she had Chloe. He looks so scary. Who knows? Okay. Okay. Let's see if we can find. Okay, so that first link there that says that Adam Hayes is on the Cool Registry, which is the Kentucky criminal site, that's not him. That's an older man. I thought I'd found him earlier, too. I know. I feel special. I heard Allie's been working a lot lately. Let's see. Those articles pretty much look like the same thing. He is not the senior customer marketing manager at Brown Foreman either. I looked into that on LinkedIn. Let's see. Here is an Adam McKenzie Hayes in Williamsburg. Let's see. Whitley County. Yep, 34-year-old. Sentence length 10 years, so he definitely has a record. And I bet that was for drugs, 10 years. But I that's only assuming. I don't know if it'll show me what they are. Oh, I don't want that. Oh, because it was out of state. It was sentencing county. I didn't even cite my source here. I don't even know what I'm looking at really. I assume that is a state inmate search, but let's see if I can find a more legitimate website for that. Well, we're glad you did. We're very glad you did. Okay, let's see. Here's another article, but let's see. Let's bring this one up. This one says that she's the aunt. I want to read it and see how it's. I don't know about you all, but I can never get tired. I just get so tired of hearing about these babies. 4 years old. I don't even know what a child at that age could do. You know what I mean? It gets so frustrating. We have Summer Wells, she's still missing. There's another, she was, 5? Was it 5? Let's alert. Listen at me, getting ages wrong over here. Okay, so this is from K105. This is a pretty good radio station around here. It says another person has been arrested in the murder of missing Eastern Kentucky toddler whose body has been found. They reported Friday morning that Brittany Slaughter, 23 of Williamsburg, and her niece, 4-year-old Chloe Darnel, who Slaughter had custody of, disappeared in Somerset, according to Whitley County Sheriff's Office. Slaughter was found Thursday night sometime before 9, but without Darnell. The Sheriff's Office said Slaughter was found locally, so they found her in Williamsburg. Slaughter was booked into the Whitley County Detention Center at 4:10 Friday morning and charged with murder, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with physical evidence. On Friday, the Sheriff's Office said Darnell's body has been recovered. Where the body was found was not released. The toddler's body has been transported to the State Medical Examiner's Office for an autopsy. Also on Friday, the Sheriff's Office said that 34-year-old Adam Hayes of Williamsburg was arrested and charged with murder, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with physical evidence in relation to Darnell's murder. He was additionally charged with trafficking in controlled substance, which heroin, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. The investigation is ongoing and could result in additional charges, the Sheriff's Office said. Well, it's good to know he'll see time anyways. Regardless what goes on with Chloe, he's at least going to see 5 years for that firearm charge. Very much so. Let's see if we can find. Just going to see if I can find a court date real quick. Sorry for the silence, guys. I'm just going to see if I can find anything about when they're supposed to appear. I'm going to assume first thing Monday morning, but who knows? Okay, well, there's something here on Facebook that I'm going to read really quick. I don't want to share the Facebook screen, though, because my messenger always pops up when I do, and I'm just not trying to have those conversations publicly. So on the Whitley County Sheriff's Department's page, let's see. Two arrests have been made regarding, which we already know that the arrest was made. Still not given the location. Yeah. Wow. that's pretty much it. That's all the information I can find. I don't know. Well, guys, I thought I would find a little bit more because usually something pops up, but I don't think it's going to happen today. Let me try Brittany here. See if anything comes back with her name. And it doesn't, which where she's 23, she may not have a record. You know, that's not odd for 23-year-olds not to have a criminal record, even if they are criminals. You know, she hasn't had quite long enough, I guess. That don't mean she don't have one. That just means not one that I see right off the bat. Okay, well, that looks like I got some on Web Sleuth here, but it's not anything. People saying they're getting Casey Anthony vibes, but she's already been found, so we know that that was true already. I don't know, guys. Is there another case that you all are digging right now that you would like to discuss? Or, I mean, if not, that's really all I have on Chloe. There's just not a lot out here. She's been found and we're waiting. I didn't even see where they posted anything. On anything about a court date anyways. MC south of you. I'm from MC south of you. There was skeletal remains found last month. They haven't identified them from what I've seen. Forgive me, I'm having a blonde moment today. MC. Are you speaking of a county maybe? And okay, Ada. So I'm not actually from Whitley County. I am from the Lake Cumberland area. But I think I know where you're talking about. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought that was probably where you were talking about. I seen that. Did they ever say whether that they were adult or child? I'm actually going to Google this now because I remember seeing that. But I couldn't remember if they had specified anything else besides the fact they've found skeletal remains. Skeletal remains. So I am just a little bit, I think, north of you. You live in a very beautiful area. Or you're from a very beautiful area. I love to go down there and hike. Oh, wow. Oh, I read teenager and automatically thought that. Sorry, here, I'll share my screen with you all now. Okay. Here, this is out of the McQuarrie County Voice. I'm going to read this for people who haven't heard about this. This will kind of introduce you to it, and this is going to help me refresh too. No news as of yet. I think it usually takes them a minute, maybe. Well, I am not a subscriber, so we'll find a different one for you. Here we go. WBIR. I'm not sure who this is, but that sounds pretty legitimate. Hang on. Actually, I seen WKYT. Here. Oh no, Lexington is busy there, but it's still, Lexington's not a bad place. I enjoy going there. They got good food, good shops, so, you know, it's not all bad. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let this play. It will.
Skeletal remains were found in McCreary.
Oh. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. I don't even know what I clicked on. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I don't know if, yeah. I don't know what went on there, guys, but I'm going to try again. Let me pull it back up here. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. I'm sure you're talking about me. I don't know many other people with my nickname who, yeah, those two names are definitely in my family tree, honey. So it's probably me. I'm Jim and Judy's granddaughter. So if it's the me, you know, then you know me by their granddaughter. Okay. I'm going to try to share this screen one more time without busting out your all's eardrums. I'm sorry about that before. I'm not sure what I clicked. Probably getting a daggone virus. Probably clicked on something I wasn't supposed to. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yep. And that is me. That is moi. He's not the biggest fan of me these days, but live you learn, I guess. Here, I'm going to go ahead and see if this video will play. I don't know if it will or not.
Skeletal remains were found in McCreary County on Saturday. The sheriff's office says the remains were found in the Ravello Stearns area. The coroner's office was called to the scene just before 5:30 yesterday afternoon. The remains will now be sent to the state medical examiner's office in Frankfort for identification.
Oh, wow. So, what is it? Is it 2 to 6 weeks usually what we're looking at on those remains or longer? I can't remember what it typically does. I'm going to Google them one more time. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I have probably done doxed myself 1,100 times on here, but it will be okay because I go back and dirty delete like the rest of everybody else's. Oh. So, do you have a channel? Summer is one case that really, that's something that me and my friends, we dwell on that one a lot, you know, along with Monkey and Harmony. Summer's another one that we dwell on a lot. I just don't cover it much on my channel because what's there to cover but a bunch of drama. So, but here I'm going to put in about these skeletal remains one more time, but I don't think that there was anything different from what we just watched on them. Yeah. There's all the time somebody being found out there in McCreary County. I know I heard something about somebody in Stab a couple of months ago. I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing else on those skeletal remains. Nothing else at all. And then there is nothing else on Chloe. I'm trying to think. Crystal Rogers case, we're waiting on a court date on her. There's nothing new on DJ Whitt. He's still missing, of course, out of Pulaski County. Yes, he is wanted. He has warrants on him. However, he's 20 years old. Have you heard about him, Ada? If not, hit me up on Facebook, because that's somebody that's running around here locally, probably, or maybe close locally by, and he had a little mental break, so that's somebody that we've been going pretty hard for a minute. There's just nothing new. There's been no breaks. Nobody's seen him. A lot of people thinking they've seen him, but no, nothing for sure. All right, guys. Well, if anybody doesn't have anything else, I surely don't. I usually try to stay on about an hour, but there's nothing on the cases that I'm digging right now. Not enough. Yeah, that's actually, if you go back on my channel, that's the first case I ever covered. That's what brought me to YouTube. Well, Gabby Petito, but when I started my channel, that's what it was going to be for. It was for Kevin and Linda. That's actually a case of mine that is very close to me, because, Mom went to school with Linda, as well as some of her sisters. Carlos's mother actually went to school with Linda, with the lady that was murdered. So, yeah, it's DJ Whitt. Look him up. It's a bad case. It's one of those cases where they beat him up here in Pulaski County, and we ain't never seen him again. I know. It's been so long. I didn't think Maddie's was going to drag on, I guess where Summers, Michaels, and Harmonies was already dragging on, I thought there couldn't be another one to add to the list, but there always is. I don't know why I think that way. Allie, have I ever told you about Linda and Cody? Let me share my screen here, because I'm glad Ada brought that up, because I don't talk about this one near enough anymore. And guys know how it is when you start on YouTube. People's not interested in the stuff that they haven't heard about a lot. Let's see if it'll even come up here. They might let us read this article here. So this is probably the last movement I remember seeing in this case, because people were protesting here back in 2018. But this is from the Commonwealth Journal, and this is a local paper. Where's our picture? That is Linda Gibson and Cody Garrett. So that was brother and sister. That's her half brother. Cody was biracial. Unfortunately, in our area at the time, that was probably one reason why he was targeted, I would think. And I'm not just trying to speak ignorantly or anything like that. I know it's been mentioned, and in that time, it was frowned upon. Here, anyways, people were very behind. Yeah, they all went to school together. Lena and Lindy was actually friends with her, and then Mom and Laura, they were older, but yeah, they were all friends. Linda was in special classes with Lindy, so her, Lindy, and Lena hung out a lot. Yeah, they were brutally murdered here back in 1990. I want to say 3, but don't hold me to it. It'll quote a date in this though. I know, that's one that we don't have to wonder about. Terrible as it is, I'm like you. At least they found her, because it makes me wonder about some of them. I used to be True Crime and Coffee. Not sure. Okay, so like I said, this is out of the Commonwealth Journal. Little recap on Linda and Cody's case. Says a break may be forthcoming in the nearly quarter-century-old unsolved murders of Linda Gibson, 21, and Cody Garrett, her 4-year-old half-brother. We have new information. It's a very active case, revealed Carl Clenard, Public Affairs Officer for the Pulaski County Sheriff's Department. We are waiting on lab reports, Clenard added. He didn't elaborate further, except we've never closed a case, regardless of how old it is. When there is new information, the case becomes active. The decaying bodies of Gibson and Garrett, both of 324 High Street, were found July 7th, 1994, in a fence row about 10 feet east of the corporate limits of Somerset and about 1,000 yards east of Village Green subdivision off Runch Branch Road. The woman and child had been murdered somewhere else and their bodies dumped about 20 feet apart in what then was a remote area despite its proximity to the city limits. If officers found where the murders took place, the information was never made public. But anybody who's local has heard rumors of where it did. And funny thing is, the rumor of where it happened no longer exists because they tore them buildings up. Those apartments are no longer there. It goes on to say that Gibson and her half-brother had been seen previous Sunday walking along Bourne Avenue towards a convenience store at the corner of Bourne and South Central Avenues. That's the last time anyone saw them alive. Their family reported the pair missing the following day. Weather was hot and blackened imprints of the victims' bodies were visible on the grass when members of the media were allowed to view the site. Excuse me. After a few hours, the bodies were removed. The spot was shaded by large cedar trees 25 to 30 feet tall. The area was entangled with smaller wild cherry bushes. Most law enforcement personnel involved in the case are out of office. Sam Catron, sheriff at the time of the murders, was assassinated about 6 years later. Unrelated, by the way. Many of the officers who walked shoulder to shoulder looking for clues in fields surrounding the murder scene are retired now. A substantial reward was offered in the information leading to an arrest and conviction in the murder case. The FBI was called in. Alan Stringer, owner of Somerset Undertaking Company and coroner at the time of the murders, was unavailable for comment, but he said during the interview 4 years ago he believes the case can be solved. I don't believe any case is unsolvable. Facts never change. Evidence never changes, said the former coroner. Debbie Harrison, mother of the 2 children, informed of new information in the case, remarked, I hope and pray something is done. It's been 24 years, and it's time for something to be done. Not a day goes by that I don't think of them and wish they were with me. I can't speak for my family, said Harrison, but she said personally isn't planning demonstrations as members of the family did years ago. But I don't want my children to be forgotten. My heart. Bless her. I hope she gets answers. I know. I know. I wish they could. I don't think I used to hang with Dumpling, but I do believe Let's Delark. Did I go over there once before for Oakley or Maddie? I've been on a couple panels for other cases, so I'm thinking Dumplings may have been one of those. Thank you, 3 Dave. I appreciate it. Yeah, it is. But did you ever know about the confession? Because there's a man actually, last I heard, living in Lexington, Kentucky. That's the last one that was in this little mix or rumored to be in this little mix. Allegedly, the man who committed the murders is in Lexington, still living. The other man who was supposed to be involved, who is a well-known name in this town, has now passed. Yeah, so that night, the man who was related to the... Okay. So the field that is saying that they were the fence row where they were found, the way they were found is Debbie and her boyfriend were took there by an individual who found them. So instead of calling 911 when he found these brutally murdered children, he went and picked up their parents, supposedly. Okay, so this is supposedly he found them and went and picked them up and took them back to the bodies, right? Well, he admitted and he confessed in the police station later that night, is what the word is. But it wasn't properly obtained, the confession wasn't, so it couldn't stick. They had to let him go. And that's why in the earlier newspaper reports, Sam Catherine is so confident that they have an arrest to be made the next day, and then nothing, there's no arrest to be made because they didn't follow procedure and they had to let dude go. When they let him go, the big name in town sent him away, you know, with a little money and to go work somewhere, and dude has stayed gone and stayed gone since, is what the word is, allegedly. Yeah, it's been crazy. There's the whole reason behind it too. I know the big story was in Mom's crowd was that there was a bestiality tape that Linda had gotten her hands on and had threatened some of the elites in our town. So when she threatened them to release that, that's what caused them to come after her. Mm-hmm. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. Sam is one that I would like to cover because I've never really looked into that deeply because it is what it is. Somebody else was running for sheriff and he got killed. But I think I would like to go back and kind of dig Danny Shelley a little bit, find out what he was before, after, and during. Because, you know, I mean, as you probably knew, the Browns knew Danny Shelley. So that's how I knew Danny Shelley was the Browns. And he was a decent person when I met him. I mean, I was young at the time, so I wasn't the best, you know, judge of character, I guess, but he seemed normal to me. Let me see what else I can pull up. Yeah, so you knew. And Kenneth, I will tell you, I have had run-ins with Kenneth White since, because he was in jail with my ex-husband. And the man, anytime I put money on his books, he always paid me back. And anytime I bought him phone cards, he always made sure I was paid back. I'm not saying man ain't crazy because he was a killer or whatever, but he always paid me back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's see here. Oh, wrong side. There used to be a really good, here. I hate just pulling up people's YouTube videos, but there used to be a really good video on YouTube about them. Let me see. And I have a video on them, but it is not a very good one. It was one of my earlier ones, and I would rather not make us sit through that. Okay, yeah, this is some visuals and stuff if you guys want to watch those. Amen. Yes, I can agree with you on that one for damn sure. Whew. But those conversations is for another day and time, I guess. Here. Excuse me while I'm trying to share this other screen here. Yeah, here we go. This is the last time they ever done a vigil here. This was it, so.
A Pulaski County family is demanding justice more than 23 years after two loved ones were brutally murdered.
23 years and no arrests so far in the death of Linda Gibson and Cody Garrett. Conroy DeLuge had the story at 11.
Linda Gibson was 21 years old, Cody Garrett only 4, when their bodies were found in a field in July 1994, a few days after they disappeared. The sheriff's office says they're still actively investigating the case, but the family is weary of waiting for answers. While matches provided the spark, one word fueled tonight's vigil.
We all want justice. We all want justice for our family, for our friends, and mostly for that little baby and for Linda. Both of them matter.
For 23 years, no one has known what happened to Linda and Cody in between the time they left this convenience store to when Robert Bray found their bodies in the field a few days later.
I'll never get out of my mind. 21-year-old and 4-year-old brutally took out into a field and beat to death.
Clutching candles as flames burned the cups.
Remember that name.
They
That's
cried
all.
for justice.
Yeah, I remember that his ass even showed his damn face on the news like that. Whew, Lord have mercy. See, I always heard that he never came back into town, but I guess he has been. Maybe I need to be a little bit more nosy when it comes to that man.
Just for a woman lost just after her teenage years and a boy who never had a chance.
I would give anything I had, even my life, to get it solved.
They stood together and found Square in Somerset to be seen by everyone who drove past.
Until we see you again, we love you. And we won't stop.
Then marched to the sheriff's office to beg for them to crack the case open, when the police say they are still actively investigating. While more words were said, only one matters now: justice.
Justice. I want it to be solved. I want the people that done it in jail or on death row. If not electric chair or a gas chamber, either one.
I haven't forgotten, but I know justice will be served. And I know and I believe that if justice isn't served here, it will be served up there. And I know that God knows all.
When I spoke to the sheriff's office earlier today, they told me that this is still a very active investigation. They've interviewed more than a dozen witnesses and persons of interest in the past year and are hoping with new technology, evidence can bring in new results not possible 20 years ago.
Wow. So, there. Man you seen on there is the man who supposedly found the bodies, and instead of calling 911 or going to get help, drove to pick up the parents and take them to it first. He's also, before I speak on things without having receipts, I'm just going to stop there. But just remember that name for later. We will revisit this, but I'm nowhere prepared to tackle it tonight. Yeah, I do not have those old newspaper reports pulled up right now, and they do take a second to find. But if I come across them, we'll talk on it. But if I don't tonight, I will bring them back up later. Yeah, Gray Hughes actually covered this, and I thought that was really cool. He done a really good little map session, so I definitely recommend that one. I've enjoyed that one very much. It's one of the first shows I ever watched of Gray's, and I found out he was a special little butthole. Yes, they do. They deserve justice. It was a brutal murder, and they definitely deserve justice. Yeah. That's about all there is on there of them. It's not a very widely known case. Not at all. Let me see if there's any. Let me see what's the oldest newspaper article I can get up real quick. We all do. I really want to talk to, I used to not think that I wanted to talk to the Harrison lady anymore, but now I want to interview one of the family members and just ask them, if they're thinking something different now since Mr. Bray was at the vigil 6 years ago, how did that go over? Or if that was just something that was played up in the media, him being there. Let's see. Here's the facts of the case that's on the website. Give me just a second. I'll pull it up. I'll call it facts of the case because it's on the Pulaski County Sheriff's website and they are the investigating office, but who knows with them right now. On the sheriff's office page, their summary states that they were last seen, we all know that about the Dairy Mart, and when they failed to return from the Dairy Mart, that their family members reported them missing the following day. And it was 94, not 93. So on July 7th, 1994, the bodies of both Linda and Cody were discovered in a remote area just outside the city limits of Somerset, and they were found in high weeds along a fence row at the edge of a field. And basically the same thing that it said in the paper. Goes on to say that if you have any information on this case, to please contact the Pulaski County Sheriff's Department with your information, and that you can leave an anonymous tip. And that you're eligible for a cash reward if your information leads to an arrest or conviction of a person or persons responsible for this crime. Matt Bryant is the lieutenant on the case, and if you go here, you can see the link for their tip page. See, I'm not familiar with Crystal Marler at all. It's so crazy. There's so many. I hear so much. I have a friend that I used to work with, and her father, his death was ruled an accident, and it was ruled like a heart attack or something crazy. But he was beat to death, like, how does that add up? And he's from the south end of the county that I live in. So, kind of close to those areas where people's messing around. But Crystal Marler, I'm going to Google her real quick. That way I have it. I like to look into these cases, especially when they're close by. And you said this one's unsolved? Is it Crystal Sue Marler? Yep, Whitley City. Okay. Oh, she is so beautiful. Can't get the picture up bigger. We'll find a bigger picture of her, though. She is beautiful. Missing since 1998 from Whitley City, Kentucky. Female, biracial, black, white. She was 15 years old. Bless her. Crystal disappeared from Whitley City, Kentucky on October 8th, 1998. In April 2009, her skeletal remains were found in the woods off Peel Dogwood Road. They were identified in July. Authorities stated Crystal died from blunt force trauma and gunshot wound. Her homicide is under investigation. Oh, wow. I can't believe there's stuff like this that goes on and they don't ever even know who does it. I can't believe it, but I can't. Cool. Well, I don't know where I just took us there. Give me just another second here. I kicked it back off. And try to get up a bigger picture of her. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Gorgeous young lady. Oh. Wow. Only 15 years old. So what's the story in behind it? Ada says, beautiful girl went missing when she was 15. Found 10 years later, maybe longer, wrapped in a carpet, not buried on a forest back road. Oh, wow. Yay. Survival is always great. Survival is the goal. Let's see if we can get up a... Let's see. Here's a recent Reddit post, kinda. Says her mother passed away in a car accident before her remains were found 11 years after she just... Oh. Let's see. LEX18 done a story on her. Here, we can watch this.
Okay, Bill, thank you. October marks the 20th anniversary of the disappearance of Crystal Marlar in McCreary County. The 15-year-old's remains were found in 2009, but her killer remains unknown. LE's Michael Burke has more from Whitley City.
20 years later, and not a day goes by when Lorella Wood doesn't think about Crystal Marlar.
There's always something to remind you of her. She was at my house a lot.
Marlar was a half-sibling to Wood's grandson. She disappeared in 1998, and it wasn't until 11 years later, when skeletal remains were located in McCreary County, officials were able to rule her death a homicide. The case remains open, remains unsolved.
They are somebody out there that knows what happened. We just hope that they come forward sometime or another and let this family have some peace.
And after all this time, it's been 2 decades, all of the leads have dried up, dwindling down to just rumors and gossip. But the sheriff did say that no piece of information will be considered insignificant.
Because you never know what that may lead to.
For someone like Lorella Wood, the hope is it leads to finding those responsible. That might even be more meaningful than a conviction at this point.
Just to say not knowing why they would do something like that, it hurts.
And the pain remains just as fresh as it was during the fall of 1998.
You don't get over a death, but something like that, a lot worse.
Covering the news in McCreary County, Michael Burke, LEX 18 News.
If you have any information about the death of Crystal Marlar, you're asked to call the McCreary County Sheriff's Office. That number is 606-376-2322.
Oh, I'll have to go check that out. Let's see. Let's see what she's got on YouTube. We can pull YouTube up real quick. Give me a second. It should have her hashtag in it, surely. How did we spell her name? Marlar. Oh, yeah. So, just the tipsters. I love that channel name, but looks like they done a video. We can check out a little bit of it. I don't want to play the whole 46 minutes and rip off their video, but we can check out some of it here. Let's see if it has a
It's just the tipsters with Melissa Morgan. In my humble opinion, if you got a tipper, Melissa, a lie someone told you for no apparent reason, an urban legend you know to have more than one grain of truth, why watching your dog eat peanut butter never ceases to be hilarious. Tell us about it by calling the tipper hotline at 832-TIPSTER. That's 832-847-7837, or send an email to JT.
And when did Crystal's mother, Abigail, find out that she had not made it home?
Well, that was a Thursday night, I believe, and Friday when Abby got home from work, she would have already been gone to school. And she didn't think much about it, but she didn't come home then that night.
Right.
So the next day, we all found out about it and went to the law board and everything. Questioned some of her friends.
Did anyone have any really good information or answers?
No.
No. Who was the last person who saw her? The friend that she went to pick up her borrowed items from?
Well, she had gone back home and wrote in her diary, her journal. She had a composition book that she wrote in all the time, about every day. So she was back home that night. So we think somebody just called her up and came and got her.
So she had made it back home. She had time to write in her journal.
Yes.
And then something happened and she is just never heard from again.
Right.
Poof, she's gone. Yep. And this is before the days of any sort of, video activity. We don't have, we didn't have cameras everywhere. I'm guessing in 1998. Did she have a cell phone, or was that not even on her radar? Yeah, she was a little young and wouldn't have needed one probably right then, that's for sure. Or didn't think she did. So there's no real way to track her. She didn't drive because she was too young to drive. So
Okay, yeah. Yeah, hit me up in the comment section. I'll actually be leaving my email in the description of this. I can't get to where I can comment right now because I'm on my iPhone. But I'll leave my email in the description of this, and if you don't mind, just email me the information you have on this because I find it very interesting. Given her age, 15, I have a 15-year-old daughter. You know, and we're pretty close to this area, so I would like to. I'd like to look a little bit more into it, and I appreciate you bringing it to my attention. So she goes on to say that for the record, she does believe it was the boys, but believes it was an accident that was covered up with a gunshot and a father who covered it up but got caught. Oh, self-defense killing for his boys. You're probably right. There's messed up things that go on everywhere. But this is all that I had today on Chloe, and I don't have anything new on any of my other cases. I'm definitely going to be checking out this Crystal Marler case, and maybe we'll go live soon about it. When I find Chloe updates, I will come live with those as well. I didn't see any court dates. I just assume it'll be early this week. I know, it's like right in my backyard, and I never heard of it. Huh. So crazy. There's just so many around here. There's no way we can keep up with them all. No way we can keep up with them all. The guys are creeping up on an hour, and I don't really have anything valuable left to say. If you don't mind, hit the like button and share. I'm trying to grow my channel and trying to get the information out there. If you guys don't mind, check the description later. My email address will be in there. If you've got any information on Christmas, listen to me. Yeah, if you got any information on Christmas, if you have any information on Crystal Marler, you can send it to me there. But it'll take me a couple minutes to get it put in there. And if there's nothing else, guys, just have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys early next week. Bye.